Hi everybody, I'm Jana and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a top 10 list of my favorite board games for dyslexic gamers. Now you may be wondering what the connection is between dyslexia and gaming, and it's basically me. I'm dyslexic and I love playing board games. Now researchers don't understand fully why dyslexia happens, but they have discovered that people with dyslexia are very gifted with visual spatial abilities, such as pattern recognition and holistic thinking, which is the ability to connect small bits to a whole. Since I've been gaming, I've discovered lots of games that really emphasize my visual spatial abilities. It's helped me appreciate who I am and how my brain works. So that's why I put together this list. I wanted to share this positive aspect of dyslexia and gaming. So the games that I'm looking at really utilize the game mechanics of pattern recognition, pattern building, set collection, route and network building, as well as good communication skills and social cue reading. And these games are also language independent, which means there's little to no reading to play them. Now, these are all based off of my personal experience. I know that there are hundreds of games more that utilize these game mechanics that are out there, so I just haven't played them all. If you're not familiar with the gaming hobby, I feel like this list would be a good place to start. I'm really hoping that this will really be helpful for parents and educators of dyslexia students who really struggle with their inability to learn to read, and they may need a boost in self-confidence. And I also want to clarify that if you're dyslexic, you don't have to limit yourself to these games. This is just a starting point. And so just put that out there. Now, I want to get into the list, so let's do it. My number 10 for my favorite board games for dyslexic gamers is a game called Set. And this is an old one. It came out in 1988 and there's been multiple publishings of it. But Set is a card game. It's also considered a real-time game because you are kind of racing each other to collect the sets as you play. So what this game is like is you're trying to spot patterns, and you're going to be looking at cards on a table, and on each card is going to be 1, 2, or 3 objects, and these objects are either going to be oval shaped, diamond shaped, or squiggled shaped. They're going to be either solid, shaded, or outlined, and they're either going to be the colors green, purple, or red. Now when you're looking at these cards, what you're trying to do is put together a set of 3 that all of those characteristics are either all the same or all different. And for a dyslexic person, this is like the ultimate game. I would say like Set is for a dyslexic person what Scrabble is for a grammar geek. Ironically, I didn't mean to do this, but my number 9 is a game called Number 9. Probably be easy for you to remember now. Number 9 is an abstract strategy puzzly game where you are all, everyone around the table, it's 1 to 4 players, and everyone is pulling the same Tetris-y abstract piece out of the box and placing it in front of them. And what you're trying to do is stack your pieces higher and higher. The higher your levels are, the more points you get. They multiply as you get higher and higher. The trick is that you cannot have any holes in the layers. You have to have a solid piece. So you really have to puzzle in your foundation and build up in a really creative way, and you want to try and score the higher ones on top. I really love this game. It's very light, very easy to pick up, and I highly recommend it for a dyslexic person because there is no reading. The only thing about it is at the end you have to add up all of your points. So just grab a calculator, use your phone, piece of paper, whatever, if you're not good at adding numbers in your head. I would say that's the only difficult thing for a dyslexic person at the end of the game. And my number 8 is a game called Yinch. It's an abstract strategy game for 2 players. And this is one of my favorite abstract strategy games. When you're looking at the board, it almost reminds you of like checkers or chess because it's all white and black pieces. And I got kind of insecure when I started to play it because I'm not good at long-term strategy games. But as I played it, I realized this was right up my alley. What happens is you're placing your disc with your color. One person is the black, one person is the white color. You're trying to get 5 in a row. You have to do that 3 times to win the game. So as you're placing your pieces out, you're also moving rings of your color as well, and as you move your ring over the board, whatever your ring passes over, those discs are flipped. So you're constantly manipulating your disc and your player's disc. So the patterns are constantly changing out on the board. So you can attack this game in a very strategic way, which is kind of how my husband goes. And I attack it in a pattern recognition way where I'm constantly trying to spy the pattern and how I can manipulate it. So it's one of those rare games that really meets 2 different types of learners equally. It's a really great, elegant game, and I highly recommend it, and that is the abstract strategy game Yinch. My number 7 is a game called Synchrony, where you are all stained glass window glazers, and you are creating beautiful patterns in the Synchrony Cathedral in Spain. So what you're doing is each player has a window, and you each have your own unique pattern that you're working on. You build your pattern by drawing dice. You're placing them in your on your pattern board, and you either are you're trying to fill in specific numbers or specific colors. And the tricky part is you always have to place your dice next to one that's already been placed, and you can never repeat the same color or number. So you really have to be wise about your placement, and the person who completes their pattern and gets the most bonus points at the end of the game wins. Now this game is super beautiful and vibrant. It's great for someone who's good at pattern recognition and pattern building. So that's my recommendation for a dyslexic gamer. My number 7 is Synchrony. Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a super popular game in the gaming community, and it's great for dyslexic gamers because it is language independent and it is set collecting and network building. So in this game, everyone has a set of colors of trains. So you're trying to get your train out on the board and getting your train to connect to different destinations, which will give you points for your destination card. So everyone's getting different destinations that they're trying to get get victory points for the end of the game. So you're collecting those destination cards, and you are collecting sets of colored train cards, and once you collect the right number of colors, you can place them out on the board and build your network of train cars. And what's really challenging is when other people get in your way and it gets really congested and you have to rework your network. But if you're very clever about it, you can usually get your train to make one big train, and you get a ton of points at the end when you do that. So Ticket to Ride, super easy to pick up, easy to teach, and I mean, it's just a great game in general, but especially for dyslexic gamers. Alright, this is going to wrap up the video. I'm going to continue my countdown of my favorite board games for dyslexic gamers. So just please subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.